Let's make Filipino barbecue. Filipino barbecue is a staple at Filipino parties. It is the perfect mix of sweet and saltiness with a tender meat that's usually pork but could also be chicken. Here are the ingredients we'll need. We'll be using about 2 pounds of pork shoulder butt, 1 head of garlic, 1 lemon or calamansi, half a cup of soy sauce, a 1/3 cup of brown sugar, 1 bottle of banana ketchup, and 1 can or bottle of Sprite. Okay, first let me show you how I cut the pork. First, I cut it into big strips, and then I cut those strips into 1-inch pieces. You can trim off the fat if there's too much, but I actually like leaving some fat because it gives it extra flavor. And there we go. After all the meat has been cut, it should look like this. Now let's go ahead and prep our garlic. We're gonna use 1 whole head of it. On the same cutting board, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut my lemon in half. That way we can squeeze it right into the marinade. And there we go. Okay, so now that we have everything prepped, let's go ahead and put it all together. So this is the cut up pork, and I'm gonna go ahead and start with the garlic. So this was 1 whole head of garlic. We'll just put it in there. We can go ahead and squeeze the whole lemon as well. If you have calamansi, go ahead and use that. I do not have calamansi. I could probably find calamansi concentrate or like frozen calamansi, but I didn't have any, so I'm just gonna use lemon. Then we're going to use half a cup of soy sauce, just put that right in there. Then 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. Then a can of Sprite. So a can has a little bit less than a whole bottle, so I won't be using the whole thing. The Sprite gives it a lemony flavor, but also it tenderizes the meat. You could also use ginger ale if you can't find Sprite or if you happen to have ginger ale at home already. Then the last thing is a half a cup of banana ketchup. If you've never had banana ketchup before, it's sweeter than tomato ketchup, and it has this like gelatinous or like a gelatin consistency. So if you can see, it's hard to get out. So what I usually do is I take a butter knife, I stick it in there, and I loosen it up. And we only need half a cup of this for now. So you might be wondering what banana ketchup is exactly. So yes, it's made of banana with some vinegar and sugar and spices. And it was made in the Philippines during World War II when there was a shortage of tomato ketchup. And of course, the Philippines has a lot of banana. So they invented it there as a substitute. And it's usually used in Filipino spaghetti. Also can be used on hot dogs and things like that. And it's not actually this bright red naturally. Red food coloring is just put in there to make it look like tomato ketchup. It takes a lot of work to get banana ketchup out of its jar. So half a cup of banana ketchup. So now this is what it should look like after all of the ingredients have been added to the marinade. I'm gonna go ahead and take off my ring, and we're gonna massage everything into the meat, make sure it's fully incorporated. Now, after everything has been incorporated, you can go ahead and cover it. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the fridge for 4 to 6 hours. If you can keep it in the fridge overnight, the flavors will really develop. Here's a tip for your banana skewers. You can go ahead and soak the banana skewers in the water to make sure it doesn't burn while it's grilling. Now let's make the basting sauce. This is the sauce that we'll be putting on the meat as it's grilling. First, we're going to need 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar and half a cup of soy sauce and half a cup of banana ketchup, which is basically the rest of the bottle we were using. Now, once all of those ingredients have been put together, you can just mix it to combine. Alrighty, so it's been about 4 hours. Again, it will taste better if it's overnight. Here is my meat. It was in the fridge, and we're gonna go ahead and start skewering. Remember, we put the barbecue skewers in water so that they would not burn when we grill them. And let me show you how I skewer. Okay, so this is what the meat looks like. What we're gonna do is just skewer them right through the middle, and the Sprite hopefully will have tenderized it a little bit. Looks like I can fit 4 on this one. And there we go. So it really helps when the pieces are the same size. You get the idea. When everything is kind of the same size, it's going to cook a little bit easier and at the same time. So I'm gonna put this one away and make more just like that. And there we go. So all of the meat has been put on skewers. I made about 12, but again, you can make as many as you want depending on how many pieces of meat are on your skewer. So let's go ahead and grill them. And of course, we can't have Filipino barbecue without rice, so let's go ahead and make some rice. And this is what it will look like when you're grilling it. Remember to use the baste that we made. It had the brown sugar, the soy sauce, and the rest of the banana ketchup. So as you flip it, add the base and it keeps it saucy and moist and flavorful. And of course, it's perfect served with white rice. Okay, let's go ahead and eat. I'm so excited. I wish you guys could smell this. Oh, so good. So you can see on the barbecue, it's saucy and the meat is cooked just perfectly. Let's give it a taste. The brown sugar and the banana ketchup add a sweetness which balance out the saltiness of the soy sauce. So it's so good. And then there's just a brightness from the lemon as well. I hope you get a chance to try this. If you make this for a party, I know for sure it's gonna be a hit. It always is at our parties. So how do you make your Filipino barbecue? Tell me in the comments. And if you happen to use this recipe, let me know. Paalam!